To the southern border now, where there is a renewed focus on migrants coming from so-called countries of particular interest. 17 countries on that list, including places like Russia, North Korea, China, and Cuba. NewsNation's Ali Bradley is live with more on a recent influx of migrants from nations on that restricted list. So, Ali, what sparked this new warning for agents?
Yeah, hey, Nichole. So we just got our hands on this exclusive internal email that went out to some Border Patrol agents showing that some migrants from Pakistan, from special interest countries, are using fraudulent passports in order to walk into the United States a little bit easier. So here's what we learned here from this internal memo. This new alert sent out from the Yuma sector says that 2 Pakistani nationals were encountered over the weekend. They were using passports from the Republic of South Africa that did not belong to them. One of the individuals was deemed an inconclusive match on a terrorist screening database. Now, this means the National Targeting Center has a record of a potential terrorist, and there is a person in custody who matches that description, but they do not have enough information to confirm it's the same person. So that individual is going to go through some additional vetting. Now, the individual said that their original passports were taken and the fraudulent ones were provided by their human smuggler who was operating between South Africa and Pakistan. They were told that they should not use their Pakistani passports. Again, Pakistan is a special interest country. National security experts say this latest development with these fraudulent passports being used is concerning, in part because of the relationship between Pakistan and Iran.
Very concerning that people from Pakistan are trying to use these documents because at the beginning of September, if folks remember, we arrested McShane, an individual who actually came in from the Canadian border, he was at the behest of the Iranians, trying to assassinate either President Biden or former President Trump. That was his mission here in the United States.
Now, CBP did say that anybody who poses a threat would be removed from the country or denied admission. But we just got this statement from the Homeland Security Committee from Chairman Mark Green saying in part, quote, "It is nearly impossible for Border Patrol agents to truly vet and screen the record number of illegal border crossers under Biden and Harris's policies, many of whom are simply released into the interior anyway, and those trying to cross it know it." So, Nichole, all of this really brings back to the forefront the issues with the vetting system. So we have already seen migrants from 160 nationalities encountered at our southern border over the last 3.5 years. So most of these countries are third world countries. They don't have viable databases, medical records, criminal databases that they're sharing with us. So the reality is if someone comes across and they do not flag in our system for criminal history or criminal infraction, and they're not on Interpol, and mind you, that takes several days for that to flag, then they are who they say they are. They are whoever they say. If they say they're John Smith, that is who Border Patrol has to basically take them for their word as, Nichole. So that is something that is extremely concerning for law enforcement down here and also for lawmakers. Nichole.
All right. So, Ali, is the administration able to keep any sort of tabs on this movement?
Yeah, so a lot of times the administration knows what's happening deep in southern Mexico, right? We know about these caravans in Tapachula making their way here. Well, they know based on these interviews that there are more people in Pakistan that have an intention of coming to our southern border. So these individuals here that were interviewed, they were actually indicating that there are a large number of people from Pakistan in South Africa right now. Now, it's unclear if they're going to head to the southern border. However, one of the Pakistani nationals that was interviewed says that they met at least 10 Pakistani nationals in Mexico with the intent to cross the U.S. southern border. Now, they also indicated a few of them were planning to cross in Arizona in the coming days. The others might attempt to cross in Tijuana. Now, what's interesting here is they're saying that if they cross in Tijuana, it's easier because in California, they're apparently being released easier. That is the conversation that's being held with these special interest migrants. Now, Border Patrol is alerting any of the agents or officers if they do encounter someone with a South African passport to refer them over for additional screening. Nichole.
All right. Ali Bradley, live for us there in Del Rio, Texas. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.